My dad called the night before Christmas Eve and didn't say hello. He said, 15 people tomorrow, your sister's guests, her boss, get here early. Then my mom, calm as ice, added, this is the only thing you're good for. 2 days later, that same boss would be deciding a $2.4M contract for my company, and my family still thought I was the help. For years, holidays in my family ran on the same script. My younger sister walked in like a VIP. I came in carrying grocery bags and got pointed toward the kitchen. Dad bragged about her job while I washed glasses. If anyone asked what I did, he'd wave a hand and say, she works with computers. Nothing serious. Looking back, it wasn't the dismissal that stung most, it was how comfortable they were saying it. I built my crisis advisory firm in Chicago from nothing. I had real clients and real staff. At home, none of it counted. I stopped sharing wins because every attempt turned into a quick little humiliation. I kept wondering why I still wanted approval. What was I even trying to earn? That December, my company was up for our biggest deal, Westbridge Capital. The final meeting was December 26 inches Manhattan, and the CEO wanted me leading it. After Dad's call, I checked my email and saw the signature, Nathaniel Price. The boss my sister was desperate to impress? Same man. That was the moment I understood my family's little fantasy was about to meet reality. The next morning, Dad texted me a checklist, like I was staff, vacuum, flowers, not cheap, appetizers by 5, and wear something plain. My stomach didn't even tighten. When he called and asked what time I'd arrive, I said, I'm not coming, I'm flying to New York. He laughed like reality would obey him. Then it turned ugly. Dad snapped, you're embarrassing the family, my sister hissed. If you ruin my chance, I'll never forgive you. And Mom cut in, how convenient. I didn't explain. I told them I'd already sent emergency options, chefs, platters, cleaning crews. Dad barked, we don't need strangers. We need you to do your job. I repeated, my job, quietly, and ended the call. I checked into a Midtown hotel on Christmas Eve and opened my laptop before I even unpacked. Meanwhile, the family chat melted down with complaints about trays, towels, and me getting on a train now. By 7, guests were arriving to an empty kitchen and a lot of forced laughter. I couldn't tell if I felt guilty or just done. At 9:17, my sister texted, why is Nathaniel staring at the hallway wall? I knew the wall. Their achievement gallery was basically my sister's shrine. My photo was shoved low me on a stage with a mic. The exact headshot Westbridge had been looking at for months. Then he stepped closer to the frame. Next, my sister said, she does some freelance consulting. After that, my dad shrugged. She makes small things sound big. Again, my mom smiled. She usually helps with dinner. Then Nathaniel asked, what exactly does Nora do? Silence. Just the room and the cheap food. Finally, he said, I see, put on his coat, and left. At 9:39, my sister texted, what did you do? I almost laughed. I'd done nothing. I'd simply stopped holding up their lie, and it collapsed under its own weight. On December 26, I walked into Westbridge early and ran the room like it was mine, because it was. Nathaniel shook my hand and said, I believe I was in your parents' home 2 nights ago. I met his eyes and said, then you saw what happens when people confuse control with leadership. He smiled for real, and minutes later he approved the deal. $2.4M, 2 years, New York office support. They announced the partnership online and tagged me. That was enough. My phone lit up. Dad, answer now. Mom, people are calling. My sister, is this real? I didn't step out of a room full of respect to manage people who never managed their cruelty. The fallout was brutal. Dad tried pitching Nathaniel an investment and got shut down. My mom's charity circle suddenly wanted new leadership. My sister's promotion got paused because she used a family dinner as a shortcut and blamed me when it blew up. When they demanded an explanation, I sent one sentence, you could have asked. Weeks later, they wanted to meet. I picked a coffee shop in Manhattan and slid one page across the table. Equal respect, no unpaid labor, real apologies, and therapy if they wanted a relationship. Dad finally said, I used you as a tool and called it family. I didn't forgive them on the spot. I just stopped negotiating my worth. The next Christmas, I hosted dinner in my Chicago condo. I hired professionals, tipped well, and sat at the head of my own table. For once, nobody asked me to disappear.